thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. Go and check it out. The Analog Kitchen channel now has memberships. You can not only subscribe and share and like most of you have been doing, you can now also become a member. So that is a cool thing to do, I think. Do I work with computers? Yes, I do. Do I hate computers? No, I don't. Till today though, DAWS. And why not to use them for performing live? That is today's video. Let's go do it right now. Hey, what's up? I'm Analog Kitchen and thank you for checking out yet another video. Now, if this is your first time here, don't hesitate to click subscribe. You'll be updated whenever I upload a new video, but that is if you click that bell icon as well. You'll be kept in the loop. You won't miss out on anything. Also, if you want to just skip ahead, there's timestamps on the video. So if you think like, oh, dude, get on with it, you know, just scroll ahead and just like leave this whole introduction for what it is. Click subscribe while you're at it. Go do it. Now, I finished a new sample pack. It's called Percussive Helpers. I think that's self-explanatory, right? So you can find it on my store. I will link something here below. Stay tuned to the end of the video because there's something of a present that I might have for you. Keep watching. Now, before I start this, I have to say, okay, maybe the title might be a little bit clickbaity, but there's some wisdom in the message because in the end of the day, when it comes to performing, I think there's much to gain if you stray away from the computer. There's a few things I want to run by. What to think about hearing over vision. When I get people in the studio and we're working behind a computer, sometimes I have to turn off the monitor in order for them to hear something in the music. Now that's something that I'm thinking, you're making music with your ears, not with your eyes. Just the computer alone can take creativity away. And if I want to record something, mix something, master something, if it needs to become a record or a recording in the end of the day, of course I will go to the computer. But when it comes to performing live, now that's a different story. For instance, you've got more control over the dynamics. It's a more pleasing sound. You'll get results faster. So when you get to the soundcheck stage, you need to just like accompany a few things. It is better to just use a few very transient heavy fat analog sounds rather than just stacking stuff. And I have to say, when I listen to most people with a DAW or with Ableton on stage, they don't really sound that great. Not in comparison to if you see me bringing a Model D or a TR-99 or whatever. It just does something else with the speaker in the club, and you know what? The crowd seems to think so too. Be sure to stick it out to the end of this video. I will tell you all about my mixer project that I'm doing on Patreon. That's patreon.com/analogkitchen. More on that later. Another thing, you'll get the results faster, and you're relying on yourself to just like become a better musician at that. I will go to my live set and I will just get into my workflow and tell you why I think certain things are better to do on a DAW-less setup. Let's go see if it works, right? I guess I will just start with the movie. Hey guys, welcome to the live set. Okay, so today you can see I have upgraded the MPC with the Mellotron. Actually, no, I did not. I've got a Mellotron sitting over here, which is nice actually. So I'm just gonna jam on that today for a second. Now, okay, let's stop the music for a second. Pretty much, I get a lot of questions. People have asked me, what is the advantage of playing with a live set? Well, you know, if you've got the setup, then I'm preaching to the choir, so I mean, bear with me, it's pretty simple. What I do like about this whole setup is I have been producing for the longest time on a computer, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm not gonna bring all that stuff to the stage. You crazy, you know, connecting it, and it's not, like, it's heavy. And there are a few downsides. Obviously, this stuff is not cheap. It's not cheap equipment. I mean, if you've got an Octatrack and an MPC Live, those two things together will set you up with a nice MacBook already, I think. But in the end of the day, when it comes to making music, we have adapted our vision into the whole listening perception of making music. Now, listen carefully to what I say, because I do think that you lose a whole lot of hands-on, sort of like tactile information that when you start staring at a screen. At least for live, I think that is. I mean, obviously, we will record this stuff eventually into the computer and do something with it, you know. But the fact that the knobs are there, and if I can reach for something else, I can just do it. Now, I've got a small jam that I have today. Let's play it. I've got my multi-clock right here. Let me put that one on, not 30 BPM, but on 125, which is my preferred BPM to play with. So, okay, now, I have set it up as an orchestra, really. What you hear is certain things that are already playing. There is a sound coming from the Akai MPC Live. Now, I will turn that off, find it, because that's the Jupiter, that's over here. There's the Jupiter 8 pack, because obviously, I mean, I've got a lot of synthesizers and samplers, but there's always one step up, and that is the Jupiter 8. So if you want to buy a second-hand Jupiter 8, I think it's going to run you 15,000. Now the drums are pretty easily set up. This is something that I would probably never do on my computer, because I will just overproduce and stick more stuff into it. So the thing is, you make choices, and those choices have to be really, really 100% correct. So I've opted to go with a kick drum and a small closed hi-hat. That's what I always use. And I've got it mapped out here on a Launch Control XL, which is connected to the Akai MPC Live. Now, in order to create something that will initially work as a hypnotizing loop, I think when I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, yeah, okay, this is cool. You know, what can I add to this? Do I need to add something? But I can instantly play something here, like, okay. Which is nice. You just jam along, got this thing sitting here, and I've got it wired up to the Octatrack, so I think that it's and the delay is coming from the Space Echo, so where I usually hook up my SH-101 to it, I've opted to go with the Mellotron today. Let's lower the echo volume so I can just play something now. Change the sounds. And it's got two sides to it, which is really cool. So on the other side, you can stick two sounds together, which you can mix here on the A and B section. So the A sound at the moment is a mandolin, as you can hear. And on the other side, I've got a clavichord. Since we are not knights in the Middle Ages, let's see if we can get another sound there, an English horn. Oh, nice. And the thing is, it doesn't really bore me, you know, and the sounds are not EQ'd, the sounds are not mixed, they're not overly processed. I will look for sounds that I can either stick on my MPC Live, and I want this stuff to be very intuitive and fast at the same time. So I need not to overthink my production, which is what happens when you work with a computer. You'll add another plugin and add another plugin, and where us dollars people get stick for having gear acquisition syndrome, I think pass is something else that I see people having on a computer, like plugin acquisition syndrome. Everybody needs to have the latest plugin and the latest this and the latest that, but do you know that your computer becomes very unreliable when it's on for more than 3 hours? That 0 point something dB you're shaving off any compressor or any EQ, is that the value if the computer's been on for all that long? And with this, I just know what is happening. So now I've got a sound coming from the Akai. Let's see if we can play something. Okay, put it in record. Let's see what we can do. Here we go. You got it. Nice. Okay, hit it again. Another one where my notes are. And I can do different things with the tricks if I want to as well. So I've recorded the MIDI information on the Octatrack right now. So I've got a counter rhythm going. This is what I like as well. You got a rhythm here and a rhythm here. So one goes to bam, 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 bam. The other one goes in a counter rhythm. Bam, 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 bam. Nice. Now obviously, my big friend the TB03 over here is something that I always use inside my live set because this sounds okay. Let's add a little bit of today I'm just going to hypnotize you with it. Alright, the TB03, which is on channel 2 on my multi-clock. The multi-clock is sending out different MIDI streams. There we go. It's as simple as that. I just have a sound here, I got a sound there, and then those things have never played together, but they seem to work. And the thing that I learned while I'm doing this is where do my sounds sit? So back in the days, it was a very old school situation. You either made a track, and if you got lucky enough, the record company would send you to the studio, and then there was an engineer that helped you out with mixing, and then it got mastered, and then it got sent to the distributors. But now you need to be your own kind of boss. Now, how do you manage all these different professions that are professions in their own right? How do you become an arranger or a mastering engineer or a mixing engineer? Well, playing with all the stuff in your brain. See, this is a little bit on the loud side. Turn it down a little bit more. Got to sit here. Got a small mixer here where I collect all the sounds. Turn it down a little bit. All right, what else can we do? I think I've got bass lines as well that I still have programmed from the last time. Let's see. I will go into my Model D because the Model D is a machine I love to death. There's notes here. I'm going to take out all the notes, select them all, I'll go in. Now this is another synthesizer that I absolutely love because it's just a very hands-on machine as well. On the octave track, let's go out of the MIDI, go here. I think still there might be still a note playing, let's see. Where are you? No, there we go. All right, this is the note. Now, as you can hear, if I'm playing this, it starts to eat away sounds out of the mellotron and out of the TB03. So we need to squeeze this in the middle. The thing to remember when you play a DAWS set, if you want to just like figure out where the sounds go, think of a frequency window. Low frequencies are at the bottom of your house, and then the high frequencies obviously are at the top of your house, and everything needs to be spaced out in the middle. Now what we're going to do is like this thing. Still there, still too loud. So, that's where it is. In the hierarchy, the kick is the loudest, then the bass line, that needs to be the foundation because the bass drum and the bass line are always working together. That's how I work it. And then on top of that goes the TB03. What it gels together that you're not listening or hearing the exact transients. If you want that, you can add some reverb. There you go, there's another one. Try and just automate this on a DAW if you want. It's going to take you an extra hour to just like get an effect going. Here, turn the sound up. Okay, now it's just stepping out from behind where this bass line is. Now I think we got a better understanding or a better space, more room to see if we can add some sounds from the Model D. I'm not really thinking. Well, maybe. Now let's make sure that I got a longer sequence that I can play. Because this sequence is spaced out over, let me see, over 8 bars. But within the 8 bars, I can say maybe I will shorten it to 2 bars or 1 bar or whatever. So the length I can set so that I don't have to play, if I play repetitive stuff, I don't have to play it all over again. Start here, 2, 3, 4. Boom, bam, 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 bam. See, there you go. So, because I tend to make a mistake as soon as I play. I put it on 16, so it's going to chop it in half. Nice. I'll turn off the TB03. I'll go in and also turn off my Jupiter node here, because I want to focus on the Model D for a while. Same goes for the MIDI here. Turn it off. Shift of our function and hitting the track that I played it on will eliminate everything. Now we've got this, yeah, sort of like raw sound. I'm not so sure if I like this. So what I will do is, ooh, there you go. Go for a triangle wave, the third one. So it's got a nice texture. You can hear there's a bit of growling going on here. And in order to make that sound even fatter, I will just add a little bit of, you know, noise on there. So sound design is another thing that I love about DAWS production, because you get the results pretty fast. Now let's not shorter release, or decay in this case. Okay, live. Now this thing doesn't really have any velocity thing, so whatever I hit is going to play like that. Nice, so I don't have to go in and just like hit everything. It's just going to play the notes as is. A downside to it is you can't save the preset. But I think that's not a downside but an upside, because it will now train you to constantly pick and choose what kind of sound would I like to make. Now, second oscillator. Put this on a square wave. Let's listen to this. Make it longer. Okay. This one's got a lot of bass information, so I think it's going to like eat away from the oscillator I already have. So I'll just like ramp it up in the middle of the 3 square waves that we have available. Once I've got this sound going, I'm going to add the lower, the other oscillator in there as well. Yeah, it starts to phase. So let's detune the middle oscillator a little bit. Ah, nice. And while we're at it, let's do the third oscillator as well. Let's listen to that in the solo. Nice. Now that I got the sound that I want, I will lower the volume, because there's a small mixer on there, which is the volume for all 3 oscillators. So the top 2 are very loud, and then the last one, which is an harmonic, I'll turn it down to the point where it's only a suggestion. It's still there, you can hear it. And if you're not sure you're still hearing it, just turn it off. You hear it in the richness? Nice. Okay, cool. All right. Now that we got everything, let's build it up back again. Here. Tune it correctly, because it's a bit out of tune, I think. And there's only one pattern that I'm working on, so you can imagine that I can just like place patterns wherever I want with more information. Now I've got a pattern sitting right here. And if I go to the next sequence page, these are all my sequences. And I've got only those ones over on the left side programmed. What I will do is add more stuff and take more stuff out and then spread it out over the next 4 or 3. In total it's going to be 4 sequences, and that's how I build up my track. Let's lower the TB03 again. And what I like about this is that this is sending you in a direction where you hear what the tuning is. Dark. Turn on the TV3 a bit. And the note here adds a little bit to this. So now there's a groove that's starting to happen because of those frequencies that are actually hitting each other. This is something you will find by chance on a DAW, maybe. You will not find it, but this is what happens when you work with this kind of stuff. You just like move stuff out of the way or slightly out of the way, but it needs to be there in a sense that it complements each other, because this now sounds like pretty much, if I turn the filter down on the TB03, and here as well. It's funny, yeah? When you turn down this color frequency knob here, you will not hear the highest oscillator. So that means that you've got two sounds under this knob as well. So if you open it up, more of the sound will be audible and more of the sound will be in your face. So now you got two sounds for the price of one, which is a weapon if you're building your track up and it needs to go somewhere. The slower you open it, the more sound you will hear. Keep in mind that if this opens, this needs to change as well. And then we go back to our Mellotron. Play it as well, MIDI. Nice. Now what else can we do? What I think is also interesting is playing some sort of chord, maybe. So what I will do is go to my Tetra over here. I think I've played notes as well with it. What I do with my Tetra is have a song and dance between percussion and melody. So whatever I play should contain more notes, because also this is a polyphonic synthesizer, meaning and you can play more notes. That same goes for the Tetra. It does not so much goes for the TB03. That's a monophonic synthesizer with one note, monophonic synthesizer here, Model D, and then the same goes for the Moog over here, Minotaur. But I want to play something out of my Tetra. Let's see. Nice, so we do that. See how it's going with 4 beats, that's too short. Go in. I will just where am I? 6, 7 bar, 8 bar. There we go. Let's record this going like wow, pow, 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 pow. Variation. Wow. Now what I've done is, since I'm working in the Octatrack, I'm using through machines, which means that the Dave Smith, the Model D and the Minotaur are going through there. I can now add a little bit of reverb on there. Do we like reverb? Yes, we do. We love reverb. Reverb, good. Let's see how we get on with going in. Here, like so. Effect. Okay, we've got delay sitting there. That's not what I want. I want dark reverb. Okay, dark reverb. I'll open it up. I said reverb. This is a bit too much, but then you hear that I've got reverb sitting here. Take out my drums. Nice. I will go in for a short time, and I turn up the mix so that I got a little bit of space. This sound is going all over the place, as you can hear. Lower the filter here. Yeah, I'm liking that. Play around with this again. Open up a little bit of my open up the release on the space echo so it just keeps hanging. Put my kick back in, like so. And it's all about creating sound layers, creating different spaces within where you think your track needs to go. And that's, I'm loving that, you know what I mean? What's the timing? So, can we get more space? Yeah, we can get more space. I've automated the reverb, so if I open this up, you'll see. Woo. Nice setting. Let's turn the intensity down. Start making it a little bit more weird. Drums, there you go. Bam. Yep, liking that. See if I can find another sound, because obviously we got sounds to go and go and go and go. Okay, I will go in and find another sound, because I've got my synth still. I've got my got some more synths available, I was going to say. Okay, go out. This is yeah, nice. Let's play something really do a little bit of sound design on the thing. Record. Yeah, okay. Nice. Turn it off. So that's in the memory now. Can I do some crazy stuff with it? Nice. I'm liking that. Now this is something that can come up out of the darkness as well. But do you know, or do you recognize how all these different analog sound sources, you can just stick them next to each other and they'll just live in their own sort of like world. I don't have to space out stuff, work my way extensively into side chaining things. Everything you hear is just like as is, you know? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. There you go, turn it off. It's as simple as that. And that's what I like. So you got your sounds going, and that's why I prefer to work this way. I mean, I will come up with stuff that I might overthink when I'm working at my computer maybe. So I hope that this was helpful, and good luck with it, guys. Jam it out. Baseline. Christian Doming and Outworld Sounds are my new patrons. welcome guys, and I'd like to say welcome to all you new subscribers out there. Thank you very much. The channel is growing. It's really cool. Thank you for supporting, and especially Discord is connected to Patreon, which means that we actually talk to each other. It's not like, like, oh man, I'm supporting him, but it's cool. No, you'll get in touch. If you've got more questions than you have answers, if you are into DIY stuff, if you are into modular stuff, if you're into working with an MPC, working with the MC707, working with a TB03, whatever your flavor, there is somebody there that can help you, and that's strength in numbers, so it's really, really cool. Now, the general thing that I'm doing is developing a mixer. I'm doing that with a couple of guys, which is cool. I'm the brain behind it because my years of performing has led me to believe that I do think that there's a gap in between what there is available for us DAWS performers and when it comes to the whole summing and the mixing part. So I'm actually working on that. Now the faceplate, I finished that, and we're actually looking at diode clipping at the minute. Obviously what potentiometers to use, and it's just a really cool process, and it's really something I'm very excited for to actually develop. Now, of course, it's not something that's going to be finished tomorrow, though. I'm thinking we're aiming for the end of the year to have like maybe a prototype, working prototype in place. So this is an exciting project, and you can support it by supporting me on patreon.com/AnalogKitchen. I told you for a limited time, I will put underneath this video a 25% discount to my latest sample pack. Now, it's percussive helpers. I've stocked over 3,000 sounds, analog drums, acoustic drums, drum one-shots. It's really crazy. It's something that you can use to fill up maybe the gaps in between the drum computers that you're using, or if you're using an MPC or MC707 or something that eats samples or not the track, what have you. I think it comes in handy. It's accompanying the sample and hold sample pack that I made before, so this is sample pack number 2, and newsflash, the new sample pack that I'm working on right now is ethics and drones, so that's coming up as well. But for now, I'll leave a link in the description, only valid I think for this weekend, 25% off if you go get that sample pack on my Selfie store. I will link where you can get it also in the folder. There's so much information in the folder below. Anyway, now thank you for being here. If you made it this far into the video, you are an absolute superstar. I mean it, I'm not joking. I really love the fact that you dig that I dig, that you dig, that I dig, that you dig it. You know what I mean? So, if not anything else, I will see you next week on another video. Peace.